Well, we told you a few weeks ago about Ohio Congressman Jim Renacci and someone who tried to file a fake tax return using his name. The IRS is now investigating this, but it prompted the congressman to push for IRS reforms to try to stop identity theft.
And so that we can get the questions right to the congressman, we've brought him in. Mr. Renacci, thanks for giving us some time today. Talk to us about finding out. I mean, it clearly doesn't discriminate. You're a congressman, and you almost got taken on this.
Well, absolutely. It was a shock. It was last year when it occurred. I file an extension every year, and I came home just like I did tonight from D.C., went, opened my mail, and I saw a notice from the IRS that basically said, we want more information about your 2014 tax return. The problem was, I had not filed a 2014 tax return. My first thought was, well, the IRS is just... You know, they
made a mistake.
They made a mistake. There's a problem here. So I, as taxpayers have to do, got on the phone, sat there for 2 hours, did not get an answer, which was very frustrating.
Yep.
And then I called the Cleveland IRS Advocacy Group, who was able to help me. But all they could tell me was there was a return filed. On Monday, when I got back to D.C., I called the IRS down there and actually had their agents show up. And they actually showed me the return. That's when I really noticed there was a return filed.
So how do you fix that?
Well, it's one of the problems. Look, we live in a world where we want to simplify everything. We have returns that we file electronically. We want our refund to be sent right to us. The problem with that is that once somebody gets your identification, once somebody gets your Social Security number, once they get your address, they can file a return. They can electronically file it. You don't have to sign it anymore.
And they had all of that? They had your Social Security number?
So what else happened as a result? Were they opening credit cards and stuff?
No, they weren't able to do that. But I can tell you what I've told people who now come and say to me, so what do you do next? I mean, the first thing I did was opened up a credit file to make sure I was watching my credit file. You report it to the police because it is a theft, and then you monitor it. And then the good thing is you have to be able to follow the real return, and you work with the IRS to do that.
Next step, you've got, you're introducing legislation. You're trying to help the rest of us with this.
Yeah, I have a piece of legislation. It's interesting because what happens is, as an employee, you get a W-2 at the end of January, and then the employer doesn't have to file it until March 31st.
Right.
So there's that 60-day period where people can get your identity, do some things. That's a piece of the bill that there's actually a bill, that's one of them. There's other things in there, truncating Social Security numbers on W-2s, and a lot of things that we want to try and get done. And on Monday, I'm actually going to appear before the House Oversight Committee to try and get this bill passed.
Now, you are actually trying to help people using a website you've started. Dan is going to illustrate this with you at the big board. So let's check that out.
What's the goal of the website as we head over? Let's take a look at the website itself. There you go. What's the goal behind this?
The goal is communication. Again, it's making sure that people can talk directly to me, tell me their concerns, tell me their issues. I try and do that whether it's on Facebook or Twitter. This is an opportunity where somebody can go into my website, push a button, and the question is, are you worried about identity theft? They can answer it.
One of these three questions here. And then you actually want them to record. This will really work best with somebody that's got a cell phone, it's got a camera on it.
Right.
You're going to take 30-second snippets. What do you them their own cases? What happened to them? It was, that kind of thing?
Concerns they have. If they have their own case, I want to hear about it. I want to be able to use this information to really help the constituents here in Northeast Ohio.
So basically, you're going to have a direct line to the congressman. That's pretty impressive that you've done this. 30 seconds, and you can get right to your congressman. Mr. Renacci, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Good work. Thank you very much. Denise?
Pinpointing the web.